We're doing something a little bit different today. I get to cut an attic hatch into the little storage area in my apartment here. There's no insulation, there's no vapor barrier. The insulation is actually in the roof instead of the attic. And I have gotten the clear from the building manager to be able to cut an attic hatch in. This will do a few things for me. Most importantly for today, because the engineer is coming around 6, it will give him enough space to look up and see what he needs to see. It'll do that in a way that doesn't actually cause damage, because if I turn the hole into an attic hatch, then it's a feature and not a bug. So it'll give the engineer access. It'll let me get up there for any of the electrical that I want to change and that I need to change when I take walls out and move stuff around. So first we're going to start with getting the garbage off the floor in here, because I don't want to be tripping while I'm on the ladder. So we'll get the big chunks up, then we'll do a bit of a sweep, then we will start cutting in an attic hatch. As I think about it, once this attic hatch is cut in and I'm done fussing in this room for a little while, this will actually be a good place to store bags of garbage. But for now, I gotta squeeze past the GoPro again. Here's a funny and true story. I haven't once used that spot to store garbage, probably because getting it out would be kind of a pain with the front door opening into that doorway space. I'm right beside, there's one right here. This light might have to move. Now there is a little bit of bad insulation here above the light. That's fine. I can cut a trough here. So I can enlargen this a fair bit. I'm taking little bits of it out at a time because I don't have any camera, I don't have any light, I don't have anything I can put up there to see where I'm going. So I'm basically just kind of reaching around blind, making sure there's no cables, making sure I'm aware of where the ceiling joists are. Once I get it big enough, then I can start to actually see, and we'll see if maybe, I don't know, I can grab a mirror off of something and shine some light up. But this is what we get to do for now. Okay, so this is factory edge. I'm going to treat that as straight. And I put a big arrow for it so I never have to find it again. Okay, this cable goes straight to the left. So I can come along this way and open this up. How is this attached? We got a box. Oh right, I was going to turn the power off. I turn the power off and then I can pull this light in this box out. Yeah, the flickering is what I was expecting. I don't have any spare wire nuts, so for me to make these a little bit safer, but still not safe, I'm just going to clip the ends off. It doesn't really protect, but it reduces the chance of just like if the ends rub up against something. So it's a slight improvement, but still not what I would consider, what anyone would consider safe once the power is back on. You may have noticed that I switched from wearing just my respirator to also wearing my face shield. I'm even wearing it when I'm not cutting drywall, because something as simple as moving wires that have been sprayed by ceiling texture guys can end up dropping chunks in my face. When working overhead, I'm more concerned about getting something in my eyes than I am in my lungs, but I do finish up with the respirator as well. Now that I'm done in the storage room, I get to start on the closet divider. Originally, this closet had doors that went to the ceiling, which ended up griefing me when I was removing the corner beam. That is tucked in underneath there. Not how I want that to go. Let's see if we can just cut through it. I have other cutting tools. Got it. There are probably faster ways to demo a small wall like this, but having a bit of care with it lets me get out larger pieces, which makes getting them down the hall, into the elevator, across the parking garage, and into the van a lot easier. I'm spending a fair amount of time actually cleaning all the nails off from the drywall as I go, and that's because I'm going to be using at least some of this lumber, I don't know which, for rebuilding other parts of the apartment. Like I need something to build the attic hatch with and so on and so forth. So if I keep it clean as I go, then anything I decide to use later, I don't have to go and strip nails out of. The other reason is Santa is really good at catching himself on nails and getting stuff like this. And the assumption that he's going to want to come and help with anything later, I am trying to make it safe and Santa-proof. Because Twitch kids don't like to see Santa bleed. One of the things you'll see during my videos, probably more than in anyone else's videos, is the periodic cleaning that I do. Just yesterday I was reminded how I have a really hard time working when I'm tripping over things, can't find tools, have to move stuff around too much, or anything else that comes with the usual mess and disorganization of demolition work. I think it knocks about 20% of my brain just straight out when it gets to that state. So while it might be slower, it's much better, for me at least, to try to take care of things as I go. So if you're looking at these videos and wondering, why does he stop to sweep so much? Why is he picking up nails? Why is he getting this? Why is he getting that? It's because it makes it better for me to work. And if I can work better, I can work longer, I can work harder, and I just have more fun with it. We do have 3 layers though. We've got the stuff we see on top and then 2 layers of lino below. So that's gonna be some scraping. As with the cleaning, I try my best to break things down to flat packable as much as possible. I'm destroying it because it didn't ask me what my pronouns were. We could do a little bit of quick cleanup in this spot and then see what we can do about the lino and the tiles. Oh, found some gross. Oh, that's a stank. Can you see the wet under there? Ugh. Ugh. I don't know what I have to pick that up with. Hold on, trying to yank a curtain off. Doesn't want to go, we'll cut it. Probably just dishwasher and sink spills. Ugh. Oh. It's not just mold. I can handle just mold pretty good. It's got like a sickly sweet. I've not had reactions to smells like that, and like that's worse than cat pee. It's worse than mold. It's worse than rotten food. Yeah, I might abandon you guys again to get this out. You know, as far as difficulty of removal goes, I'm grateful for how that went. It's far away. It's out the hall, down the hall, down the hall, into the elevator, down the elevator, out the garage, to the bin, back through the garage, back up the elevator, down the hall, back to my door. It's a trek. See, the big problem with this, the blade is sharp and strong, but it's short this way. So you end up just jamming into this part of the tool after half an inch. To give you an idea, we have this much area. I got that out, and I've got that out. This is going much slower than this did because this was all water damaged. And then I do have high expectations that all of the bathroom is going to have 2 layers as well. Mostly cooked. we got the, tired and out of breath, attic hatch. We got the attic hatch cut in, we got the wall exposed in that closet there. We got the rest of this closet drywall removed, and we got a pretty decent chunk into removing the kitchen lino. Turned out there were actually 3 layers of lino, and we are not done at all, but we're getting there, we're getting there. I have an engineer coming tonight at 6, and I have the building manager coming up to discuss the water situation and possibly the engineering situation as well. And he doesn't want to be on camera, so we're gonna call it here. Thanks everyone for hanging out, and with any luck, we'll be back for some plumbing tomorrow. And if not plumbing, with even more luck, we'll be removing the framing from these walls that I wanted to remove tomorrow. I have gotten the actual stamped letter from the engineer. He only charged me $300, so that's great. And that means I can take out this wall, I can take out the closet, and I can take out the dividing wall back there. First thing we're gonna do is flip some breakers until we can get this to be actually turned off. So that should be that one. Now I know if I just let these fall willy-nilly, I'm gonna end up stepping on them. I was asking yesterday about the SDS bits or the scraping tool, and it turns out Milwaukee makes a Sawzall blade for this, and it's returnable if I hate it. Cheaper, it's returnable, and if it works, then I own the tool instead of rent the tool. I probably was out of frame for that, huh? When you hear someone be all like, blah, 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 but, and then they continue, it means that anything that they said before the but, they didn't mean. And when you're listening to people talk, if you hear them, yeah, I totally agree, you're right about this, but I'm gonna tell you this other thing, it 100% means that they're just trying to play validation games that make you feel like you're heard and not actually listen to anything you say or put any value behind it. And when I told Realtor that, he was like, huh, you're kind of right. And now he doesn't say but anymore. There are weaselly ways you can sneak around saying but, like you can say, oh yeah, I 100% agree. I also think this, right? Like you can defuse that trigger of the word but. It's funny, they wrap some of these places with a vapor barrier, but not on the top plate. They put it between the 2 top plates, and there's no vapor barrier for the rest of the attic. This is actually the right number of nails. It looks like it's a disgusting amount, but for the framing they had in there, that's actually the right number. You can debate whether or not the framing they had in there was right, but that's a different question. This is the front door view now. Instead of ugly closet, you get balcony. Dude, that's so good. Thank you, eyes. Massive upgrade. I have a bit of a quandary with how I want to proceed on this. I do have some drywall up here. Some of this is beside the dishwasher, some of it is above beside the dishwasher. I want to remove this wall all the way back to here, but moving the dishwasher right now is a little bit hit and miss, so we're gonna get this and this and this and then see what we can do about trying to tear these out without removing the drywall. Removing the dishwasher right now is a little bit hit or miss because none of the shutoffs in the unit work properly. If I can get these out without doing too much drywall stuff, then we're great. Otherwise, we might, we might leave these for and then go work on the closet after. When I'm removing big stacks of 2x4s like this, it's way faster for me to cut the bottom or the top with the Sawzall, and then I can just kind of wiggle them out. When I'm removing singles, I'll usually come along with just like the little mini sledgehammer that I have here, and then I can just like couple of whacks, and then that one's free. That one was a little bit worse because it had another backer here for what used to be where the stove plugged in. But, different tools for the different job. Well, I'll have to cut in a new piece for that. You can see it only has like 1.5 inches of concrete on top of what's essentially roof sheathing between the floors. I was trying to separate these, but it's just too rotted out from being beside the dishwasher in the kitchen. But I have free 2x4s. Like once the pipe is cut down, I just cut a 2x4 from my stack of free stuff and I put it in and I'm done. Why go buy concrete of any amount? There is a concern about if I put a 2x4 back into the concrete hole that I've just pulled a 2x4 out of, that it will rot because concrete does transfer water, blah, 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 blah. Like general concerns of like, wood shouldn't touch concrete and it should be pressure treated and all this stuff. I don't care because I'm on the 3rd floor. The only water that might ever get to this will be water from the sink or the dishwasher. I'm not building slab on grade, so there's no water coming up through. Part of the difficulty with this one is they drywalled the front of this before they drywalled this. There are actually nails holding the metal corner bead to the top plates, and I'm trying to wiggle those free right now. Cheap Arts. This is a pedestal sink and this is a clawfoot tub. No, yeah, it's a clawfoot tub. This is the bathroom they wanted to have and never built. All right, we're gonna try to open this kind of carefully because there's a good chance I'll be taking it back. Oh, and it does have a little bit of a bevel on it. That's nice. I was at the hardware store on the way here today picking up some tools for the hand wasp, some blades for the hand wasp, and I saw that this thing exists, which claims to be a Sawzall blade for scraping the floor. I get to try it out. If it works, then great, it's cheaper, and I get to keep a tool and I don't have to fuss back and forth with rentals. And if it doesn't work, I can return it because I'll know within like 5 minutes whether this is gonna function for me or not. But here we go. I got 3 layers to get up, and just about as long as it's better than manually floor scraping, I'll be pretty pleased. Oh! All right, so that can get away from me in a hurry. That got my toe a little bit. We're gonna take a second, but it's working. So it's not really great at getting all the way down, but it is doing better than the hand scraper. It doesn't get super far because you only have like a 4-inch blade, but it is getting it. But do not use this one-handed. But, you know, once I get it lifted up a little bit, I can come in here and break it a little bit. All
look at that. When it goes, it goes. Well, that's about as much as makes sense to do in the kitchen right now. Like, I could start on the tiles, but I need place to store bags and stuff, and I'm kind of running out of garbage space right now. So get this floor sweep.
We got rid of this closet here, it's much more open. We got rid of this wall. I have a bunch of attic work to do with the electrical. And we got the center divider out of this closet here. We made a whole bunch more mess. Oh, we also tried out the new Milwaukee blade for the recip saw, and that actually got most of the lino up. It got basically all the lino up, we just didn't get all of the underlayment glue stuff of the lino. So depending on how rough that is, we might chase after that with the hand scraper, or we might chase after that with an angle grinder, or we might just ignore it and put stuff on top because it's really not that thick. The thing I want to work on next, if I can, it's going to depend entirely on the street parking situation, because the city is preparing to clean an adjacent street, which means everyone has parked on the street where I keep my trailer and my van, which means I probably won't be able to unhook my van and bring it around close to the door so that I can start hauling garbage down to the van. If I can get the van out, then I can, before the start of next day, get all of this cleared out. I can work on that basically all night long because it's not making any noise. Then I can either start on the tiles in the kitchen or the electrical in the ceiling or something else. But I do need to be able to have a little bit more space so that I have somewhere to put the trash.